Hey, it's day 198 of Hey, what are you doing today? Got a couple quick things I want to talk about. Today when I was driving into work, I suddenly realized that it's the thinnest I've ever felt in my life, and actually been aware of it. What I mean by that is, when I was a young kid, up until maybe 6 or 7 years old, I was kind of thin, and then after that, the world let loose with TV dinners and bags of Cheetos and so on and so forth. And from about, I guess, I don't know, first or second grade on, I was always kind of a big kid, and then big in high school, and carried the weight throughout my life. And but this was all of a sudden I just realized, like, man, I'm the thinnest I've ever been. So yay for me. One of the things that I picked up along this journey is to celebrate achievements, and make myself aware of achievements as they come, and kind of relish in them. That in turn encourages new achievements and inspires new things. So I'm very content with my progress on the weight loss. I haven't really talked about that too much recently. For about the last month, I've been kind of flopping back and forth in the 192 to 198 range. The exciting thing about that is, I haven't really lost any weight or anything, but my physique is starting to take a different shape. But beyond that, I've had quite a few days where I haven't eaten properly. I've always got my run in every day, and stretching and push-ups is a new thing that I started, been going on for a while now. But even with eating poorly, I haven't jumped back over that 200 threshold. So that's a positive thing that I want to carry with me. Hopefully soon I'll be able to break into that 180 threshold. Be interesting to really make it to 175 and see see how I feel then at 175. Well, that would be pretty incredible. I guess the other thing that I wanted to talk about was 2 days ago I had mentioned that I was kind of in that zombie state, and it had kind of come back in, and I was aware of it, and it's funny because sometimes when things come up and actively the information is sought out, something immediately comes to me with an answer for it. And yesterday I came across a guy, I believe he was Japanese. He was talking about Satori, which is a word I haven't heard in a long time. I mean, I know what it is. I have a vague idea of what it is anyway. I know the definition of the word Satori. And there's two things that came out of that. I was wondering if Satori isn't the same thing that I was talking about when I mentioned that I could feel the Holy Spirit, when I could feel just this energy, this feeling, this overwhelming feeling of just being perfect in the universe, just nothing bad, just totally uplifting, totally powerful feeling. And I wonder if that's the same feeling as when a Buddhist monk reaches Satori, if that's a similar thing. But the real part that was kind of brought everything into play there was, I was talking about being in that zombie state of mind, that zombie frame of mind, and this gentleman was talking about as a the different things that the monks have to go through each day. You know what, I might have two things confused here, because I was watching a documentary on monks and I was watching this gentleman talk about Satori. But at any rate, he was talking about how life occurs in the present. It's not, it's not thinking about what's going to happen in the future, planning for the future. It's not reliving things that happened in the past, but it's in the present. That's the only time we ever really experience life. And he made a point to say, pay attention to what you're doing. If even something as simple as washing your hands, or whatever the case might be, peeling a potato, just as an example. Really pay attention to the moment, focus on the moment, and learn. For me, this is what he was telling me, was to learn to be in that moment, and learn to focus on that. And it was so funny, because that all of a sudden clicked that little clarity button in my brain that says, that's if I'm in that zombie state, and I'm aware that I'm in that zombie state, and the day is just passing by, and what I need to do is concentrate on that very specific moment and that very specific detail of what I'm doing. A funny side note, that encouraged me to take a look at my reading capacity, my ability to read, and what's lacking in it. How can I read faster? How can I retain more information? I've noticed that sometimes when I'm reading, I get distracted, and I'm going through the course of reading, but I'm not interpreting. I'm hearing the words in my head, but you ask me what I read, I would have no idea. It's just so it's something about concentration, and then speed, and just the fact that knowledge comes so much from that information. But it was an interesting spin-off, and that's kind of the way this whole journey's been going in some regards, is that one thing will come up, there'll be an answer, and then there'll be a spin-off that I need to pursue and research. So I'm all over the place. I really am just spider webbing across everything. The other thing that was interesting today was I was reading about I've been reading a few of the books. I've been reading a few books, but one of the books I keep coming back to is Endurance, which is the story of Ernest Shackleton's voyage, ill-fated voyage through Antarctica, where the ship got locked up in the ice, and the 27, I believe, men had to find their way back from Antarctica in the mid-19 teens, 1915, 16, 17, somewhere around there. Was just amazing to think, to be out in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by ice, and having to find your way back. But what I found was I came across a couple names of some islands in Antarctica, so I decided to just kind of research them a little bit. And it's Elephant Island, or I can't remember the other two now. It's kind of funny, in one ear, not the other. Elephant is the one that I remember. I think one was called Prince George's, and the other one was I can't remember. But it was interesting to all of a sudden be right there in the moment, to look at and see the pictures. With a computer, I can now just put that in the computer, and I can see exactly where he was, and in terms of where in the world, and also see a picture of the island itself. And I think that's something that I need to start doing. Is every time I come across a piece of information I'm not familiar with, I need to just research it for a second and just see what I can figure out. And even if I don't retain the knowledge, it creates a sense of, like today, now I have almost a little more understanding of Antarctica, and where it's located, and how close it is to Argentina, how it sits in the ocean, where the islands are, all those little things that I may not ever use it, but sometimes just having an understanding of something, or having some sense of knowledge, or some sense of something, it might be a valid, valuable piece of information down the road, or it might spin off into another valid, valuable piece of information. But is that everything I wanted to talk about? It might be. Beautiful autumn day, 70-some degrees, sunshine, and beautiful, big, pretty clouds in the air. Man, just loving this journey. Loving everything about it. So that's day 198. Hey, what are you doing today? Thanks.